Hello and welcome to the Get Offset podcast. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Emily.
And today we're going to talk about
Stuff?
and more stuff.
But not things. Definitely not things.
I changed it.
You really screwed me on that one. You should have communicated that better.
But I didn't.
Is that how you're going to do me?
You know, I think just a little bit of surprise keeps everyone on their toes. We can't have people feeling too chummy now. Isn't that right, Rachel?
Who's Rachel?
It's a joke.
On that note,
this is what happens when we're really exhausted, but that's okay.
When we're really exhausted, we're a few drinks in because, so my cousin has owned a bar restaurant in Queen Anne in Seattle. He's owned it for 20 years, and tonight was his last night as owner. He sold it. And I went down to say hey on an empty stomach. And I'm feeling better now, but I was feeling a little tipsy for a Monday.
Yeah, drinking on an empty stomach, never a good call.
Oh,
didn't you learn anything from last week's episode?
Didn't I learn anything from my holiday party? No, I guess not.
Apparently, geez.
Apparently not. Yeah, it's okay. No, it was nice. It was fun. To see him.
Well, on the upside, you do live in the city with one of the best drunk food spots on the planet,
which is
Dick's.
Oh yeah, just have some drinks and then go. I live like 3 blocks from a Dick's, but you'd be surprised at how seldom I go and like actively search out some Dick's.
Like a big greasy bag of Dick's.
A big greasy bag of Dick's ain't nothing better than a big greasy bag of Dick's.
Especially when you're like,
have we lost
piss drunk?
Everybody. Oh, so drunk. Yes, but you consent to that bag of Dick's.
No, but in all seriousness, I thoroughly believe In-N-Out is a better burger than the Dick's, which is categorically
not saying a
true.
lot.
It's categorically true. Dick's is terrible food.
Oh,
but that's the beauty of it.
Shut your dirty little dick
hole.
It's the
beauty of it. It is the beauty of it. Is it's the cheapest, greasiest little, just no nonsense burger on the planet.
No nonsense, no substitutions. And now they take credit cards.
Like, you get what you get. Oh, they do now?
Yeah, they do.
Where was that when I was in downtown Seattle during Pride Week?
Game changer. I mean, I think that
I waited in line for like half an hour at Dick's once.
At the Queen Anne one?
No, the one in Cap Hill.
Oh.
During Pride Week. Ooh. And yeah, long story. There's a family member in the hospital. That sucked. And yeah, I didn't have cash. I thought they took card.
They did
it was
not.
All for nothing.
But they always have ATMs.
I don't remember there being an ATM that day.
It's Capitol Hill. There's ATMs.
Well, I had waited in line for half an hour, and the people behind me pretty much kicked me out.
Oh, they should have shown mercy on your poor dickless soul. I'm so sorry, Andrew.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like straight white male in Cap Hill, like, it levels the playing field a little bit compared to what my normal white straight male experience is like.
Yeah, I don't know what that experience is like, but I would love to know what that experience is like. It must be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bah.
You know whose life I would really like to experience is my cat's.
I was about to say Princess Carrie Fisher. I can see where this is going.
Yeah. She just naps all day, which is all I want to do. She naps and then she plays. Well, actually, she sleeps at my hip. She was my little spoon last night. And this morning she woke me up by we have one of those. Do you know what a cat dancer is?
No.
It's like a piece of wire, like a wire hanger, kind of bent at a bit of an angle, and then there's some pieces of cardboard on one side. And it's a little bit like a feather toy, but it bounces around kind of on its own. So I found a way to sort of put it between the mattress and the bed frame so that she can just play with it whenever, because she'll hit it and then it'll bounce around a lot. So it's more fun for her to play with by herself. So she wakes me up most mornings playing with this toy, and it's too cute for me to be mad about it. Yeah, it's pretty cute. I posted a video I think on my personal page of her going like full on two legs, double pod grab attempt. She's been having some fun.
I gotta say, that doesn't sound anything like what I imagine cat dancing to be like.
Well, since she's up on 2 feet and she's kind of like walking around it, she does very much look like she's dancing.
When I think of cat dancing, I think of that animated like live action Garfield movie.
I don't think about that at
There's
all.
that scene.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it was playing some like disco song, and Garfield's like dancing back and forth, and then Odie turns it off and he gets mad or something like that. I just remember thinking it was the funniest thing when I was a kid.
When you were a kid when that movie came out? You're
That
so
came out in
young.
like 2006,
Oh,
didn't
hold
it?
on. Alexa, when did the
No.
Garfield movie come out?
The film Garfield was released about 15 years ago on June 11th, 2004.
2004. I was a teenager.
What?
I was 15 in 2004. I was born in 1989, just like our girl Tay Swift and our girl Adele. Actually, she was born in 88, I think.
Well then, I feel like a child.
You are.
Yeah. Anyways, my childhood was great because that movie sucked and I did not care. So, yeah, I was
Yeah.
able to appreciate the sucky things.
Yeah. I guess that
So,
came out around the same time as Mean Girls then.
fetch.
So fetch. Yes. I'm not a regular cat mom. I'm a cool cat mom.
I give like if my cats want to like do CBD oil, then like they're gonna have to do it at home with me.
I was just, well, no, what kind of mom do you think I am? But if you do want to drink, I'd rather you do it at home
Yep.
or whatever.
That was the moment that I realized Amy Poehler was bound for greatness.
Ugh, it took you that long. You sweet summer child. I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones, Andrew.
Incest, not my kink.
I think you've made that joke sometimes today.
I've made it once today. Exactly once.
You know,
And
I,
I
I, I wish
reserve the right.
I wish I could say that incest was not a big part of that show, but it's pretty central.
Yeah, I was gonna say my coworkers talk about it because they all watch it, and the more they talk about it, the more I'm like, and part of it's just the general locker room talk
Yeah,
atmosphere, which I'm not super crazy about.
yeah.
Coworkers, if you're listening to this, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, just not my
But
kink.
I take that back. I did make that joke also today, and my coworker's like, "Ha, good to get over here." I'm like,
I've just
shut up
seen
and
I've just seen a lot of people in different groups say, "Oh, that show, I would love it if it just weren't for the nudity." I'm like, "Really? You think the nudity is worse than the gratuitous violence?"
yeah, I've heard the Red Wedding described to me, and nothing like I'm okay with violence in film to a degree, but there's a degree where it's no longer enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones would be the kind of thing I would want to watch for my own enjoyment, and just knowing myself and knowing that I probably wouldn't enjoy watching it, I don't know, it just doesn't make me that motivated to watch it. Changed my mind.
Um, I didn't think I would like it very much because I'm not super into fantasy. But once I started trying to like just trying to watch it and get through a season, I got deeply hooked shockingly quickly.
Is this the real life?
I'm not doing that. I'm so sorry. I gotta say no
Oh,
but on
come
that one.
on.
Is this just fantasy? Now you're gonna
Okay.
leave me out there. Whatever.
Yep,
What you're
exactly.
gonna do.
Well, all I know is that I'm going to be a huge nerd and binge watch Clone Wars season 7 when it comes out. So,
I don't care. That's fine. You do you.
that is straight up like it was made for children, and I love it. So,
The Clone Wars, the Clone Wars. That's not how that theme song goes, is it? We should talk about guitars, I think.
probably
Yeah, probably.
guitars.
Yeah.
And also things.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
first.
But primarily stuff.
Yeah, primarily stuff. But first, Andrew, did you know that we have a brand new sponsor for this week's episode?
Shut up.
Oh, make me shut up. No, I'm very excited for this one.
Couldn't if I wanted to.
Couldn't if you wanted to. Runway Audio, based out of Nashville, Tennessee, is this week's sponsor, and we are so excited to have them. As someone who lived in Nashville for 8 years, I have a big soft spot in my heart for Nashville-based companies, and Runway Audio is no exception. They make some cool, customizable instrument cables, patch cables, and things like that. And I'm really excited. We're going to be getting. I've ordered one of their instrument cables. It comes in a good amount of colors. I'm getting red for the red wedding.
Interesting. Oh,
I'm just
hey,
kidding.
that's mean.
I like red. My favorite baseball team is the Cincinnati Reds. So,
is that also your favorite Taylor Swift album?
No.
I gotta say that might be that might be my favorite Taylor Swift album.
It's a lot of competition for favorite Taylor Swift albums.
I'm between Red 1989. I think
1989 is such a good record.
Red was the episode that made me finally cave in and be like, okay, fine, she's a good artist. And 1989 was like, okay, taking things to the next level. And then whatever her most recent record was, I was like, really? Oh, okay. There's like 2 good tracks on it at best.
I didn't really listen to it. I listened to okay. I don't know how many times I've listened fully through 1989, but we digress. Runway Audio, check them out. Check out the show notes. We'll
One
drop
quick
in a
question about
discount
Runway
code.
Audio. Instrument cables. Do you need that to play guitar?
I think it's pretty much an essential ingredient in playing electric guitar.
Well, then that solves it. Go to Runway Audio and get the essential ingredient to your tone.
Nice. Yep, we will hopefully have a discount code to drop into the show notes. So again, wherever you're listening, just click on the more about this episode, hit that link, browse around, maybe buy a little something. That's a fun way to support the podcast.
And I hear that there's with the discount, I hear there's supposed to be some sort of a percentage off of your order.
Some sort of percentage. Yes, indeed.
It's a surprise.
It is a surprise. It'll be a surprise for all of us.
Woohoo!
Mostly you all.
Double woo!
Triple woo.
Wow, I think that's I have to say that's officially the first time we've got the triple woo.
Yes, a triple woo is very, very elusive. It's an elusive woo. Please do not yet boo the woo. If we start to overuse the woo, you can boo the woo.
I actually I encourage people listening to the podcast to woo along with us. So
whoop, whoop.
On the count of 3, we're all going to say woo, and then we're going to cackle maniacally. All right?
Wait, but first, is it going to be like a 1, 2, 3 woo or a 1, 2 woo?
Well, then that would just be the count of 2. We're counting to 3.
Okay, I'm just for the rock paper scissors crowd. Some people shoot on 3. They don't do 1.
And we
2,
call
3,
those
shoot.
people cheaters, trying to get a head start in life.
Fair. Okay, are we doing this?
1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Woo! You were delayed. Close enough.
Yes.
Oh, we were supposed to cackle maniacally. Ready? All right. So now that we're done being goobers, what are we talking about today?
I want to talk about something that if you listened to last week's episode about the Tacoma Guitar Festival, or it might have been 2 weeks ago, whenever we talked about the Tacoma Guitar Festival, you might have remembered me being really excited about a $25 grab I made there. Do you remember that one, Andrew?
I do. I have to say that was the deal of the day. I think that beats out my $10 compressor.
I think you're right. So what I got was, it's a Fender Bronco neck with a Fender Mustang body that seems like someone tried to route out for some sort of like a Floyd Rose or something like that, because they cut into the bridge vibrato system pretty badly, and there's also a little cut in the neck that it doesn't really affect playability at all.
I don't know. It definitely affects the vibe, and you can
The vibe.
tell. It looks like there was a Floyd Rose installed, and
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
huge turnoff.
Yes, but someone on the Instagram pointed out that had some ideas for me about how I could sort of fill that in and make it look a little nicer. And once I put a bridge on it, nobody's gonna notice the big ugliest hole. It looked like someone took like a paint scraper and just jab 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 jab, like stabby stabbed the hell out of this body here.
Yeah, it looks like a crime scene.
It does, but I think it's something that's cover-upable.
I feel like that's like how someone looks like right before a fatality in Mortal Kombat. Like it's not completely destroyed and wrecked to pieces with like the brain on a stick, but
Yeah.
it's getting there. But I feel like there's life to be had still.
I think it adds to the character. I took off the neck. The neck was signed in 1972, April 6th, and it still has the original tuners.
Yeah, for the record, I called early 70s CBS era based on the tuners. I
Yeah,
just
and
wanted to
that
point that out.
I was walking around with this guitar, and at one point, one guy just grabs it and just starts talking about it. I'm like, stop touching my things.
Hi, little lady. You must not know anything about what you're holding for your boyfriend.
Oh yeah, he was talking about like the rosewood neck. I'm like, I know. He's like, they basically farmed this to extinction. I'm like, I know.
That's why the site's regulations just changed. Anyways,
Yeah, whatever.
to be fair,
he meant well. He meant well.
To be fair, he meant well.
Yes.
And he was very friendly.
He was.
It wasn't in a condescending manner.
It wasn't. He was just really excited.
Yes, we're just being nitpicky.
Yes, it was fine. I was into it, but it was a little bit like, whoa, where the hell did you come from? It just like it felt like he like poofed out of nowhere and then just disappeared into nowhere also. It was a little weird.
Into the abyss.
Into the ether. But I think $25, I think if those guys who sold this to me had just taken the tuning machines off of it, I bet they could have sold that for a lot more than $25.
Yeah, well, nah.
You don't
I feel like
so?
they could have sold it. I think they could have in the right market, but
you don't think that inline that like someone would have bought inline 1972 Fender tuning machines for like $80?
If they're the same ones on say like a thin line telly, which is a popular build from 72 that gets a lot of love and restorative work, I could see that going for some, but I'm not sure what the market looks like.
Yeah.
I know CBS era guitars aren't always the most sought after.
Yeah. So. And that's fine. Like I didn't buy this to flip it. People have already offered to buy the body off of me.
For $25? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, someone offered to buy the body alone for $30, and I said, no, thank you, because I have plans for this. They're not like necessarily the most exciting plans, and they keep evolving in my brain. But I feel like this is the first time I have had a high quality blank canvas with which to work. Because normally, like if I get a guitar, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, I don't want to make any weird changes. Like I barely want to change pick guards or pickups because I just really respect like the build and what it was meant to be. But this is already such a Frankencaster that I think it's not going to be too weird, but I'm not going to do anything super traditional with it.
I think, well, yeah, definitely not traditional. I think what would look really sick on it, and I'm a little biased here because I saw another listing for a Fender Supersonic, and it reminded me how much I desperately want the ones that they made a few years back with the orange sparkle. That is just one of the best gosh darn looking finishes I've ever seen on a guitar.
You like orange a lot more than I do, but I already ordered a pick guard for this.
Is it Perloid by chance?
It is not. It is not, because I already have a Perloid Mustang pick guard. I ordered a Deco Boom pick guard. It's kind of a cream pick guard with a copper sort of paint, almost Aztec-y sort of design. And I don't think I'm going to paint it. I really like the natural color of it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I have some spare Stratocaster Sangle coils that I'm going to try out instead of traditional Mustang pickups, I think.
It's a bold move.
Is it?
I feel like you should put Telecaster pickups in there.
I was thinking about that as well because I really like that sound.
Strat pickups that are worth their salt are voiced for the 3. And I really think Telecaster pickups, especially if you did like a standard set where you've got the cover on the neck pickup, that would look just alternate universe enough to make people turn their heads and go, what?
There'd be a little bit of a gap, but I like just around the pick guard, but I think that would be really cool. And I did think about that. So I'm playing these country showcases this summer, and I was
even better.
Yeah, and I was playing through all my guitars. I'm like, what sounds the best when I'm playing like 9 to 5 or A Little Bit Slow to Catch On by Dolly Parton. And weirdly, I think the guitar I liked the most plugged in is my Harley Benton Mad Cat copy, and those are just Wilkinson pickups. Like those are that's a $20 set of pickups. So part of me was like, I really, really like the way that those sound. Like shockingly good. They are clean. They are, they have high enough output. When they're in the middle, it's their reverse wound polarity, so it's like a humbucker. So I was also thinking about that. I'm not sold on that. Because I feel like this is the hardest decision I'm going to have to make with this instrument is the pickups.
I think you should get filtered blondies.
From Curtis? Yeah. I actually sent him a message earlier today.
I think the filters if you're going to go for that no-nonsense look, I think the filters give you that added level of texture that offsets or gives some contrast from the natural body. So if you're not going to paint the body like the filters, give it just that extra texture.
Yeah.
I think that would look dashing.
Yeah, I'll see what he can do for me. Yeah. I'm excited. The possibilities are endless. I think one of the things I'm excited about is I've had this sticker for like a year and a half. And the sticker is it's sort of a vertical orientation. It's a blade pointing down, and it says "Revenge keeps you sharp." And I've always kind of wanted to put that on a guitar, but I love my guitars so much that I've always been like, I don't want to put stickers on them. This might be that opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever put a sticker on a guitar
Not since I was a teenager.
I couldn't even do it then. I have a weird, it just kind of weirds me out.
Yeah, I remember I had a Squire Strat was my first electric guitar, and I had a neighbor who he kind of played a little bit of guitar, not as much as I did, but his granddad had this old Les Paul that he'd just completely painted over, and this friend was always so aghast. Like he knew that his grandfather had ruined the value of this guitar by painting it. And he was talking about my Squire Strat. He's like, oh, why would you put stickers on it? You just ruined the value. And even then I was like, it's a Squire Strat, dude. The guitar cost me $100.
Right. See, what I've always thought would be really cool for a finish is I'd love to do this as a project Guitar Sundays. Get like a cheap telly and just completely sand down the body, cover the whole thing, like the entire body in stickers, and then poly over it.
Yeah, get it real smooth.
Like I've got a drawer full of stickers that I could just slather all over a body and then do a poly coat, and that would just be like my sticker guitar.
Yeah, I finally found a use for a bunch of my stickers. It's when I got my workbench for the garage. I just was like, you know what? Stickers. It's Sticker Town now.
Yeah, I mean, this is weird. Like, I like how stickers look on guitars, and I like a lot of guitars when I look at it and they've got stickers. I'm like, wow, that's got a lot of character. I really dig that.
Yeah.
But then I look at one of my own guitars, like, I can't do it. It's the maybe it's the commitment. Maybe I don't
It's
know.
probably why neither of us
It
has tattoos, Andrew.
See, that's not why I don't have a tattoo.
That's why I don't have a tattoo.
There's tattoos that I want. It's just a matter of if I've got money for a tattoo. That money could also be spent on gear. Ooh, and it just every time it goes to gear. That's just where my
Mhm.
priorities are. As much as I
Yeah.
want tattoos, there's equipment that I could get that I can always resell and I'm not losing the value on and I'm having a lot of fun. It's just good.
Tattoos are an investment that you can't trade in.
Right. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, you could trade it in. That'd just be really strange.
Um yeah, I think my brother has enough tattoos for all three of us. So there's that.
Well, why doesn't he share?
Well, it doesn't work that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, I just haven't spent my money that way. There's
I I do
too
like
many places I want to go.
I like temporary tattoos. I've always had way too much fun with those. I
I
remember
used to sell airbrush tattoos at a theme park.
I was
That
on
was my job.
a weekend retreat in undergrad with my class, and one of the first things we did for the weekend is we all had like packs of fake tattoos, and I found one that said like it was like a Sailor Jerry kind of like classic American tattoo kind of looking with a rose and like some leaves and stuff, and then it just said your mom, and I put it
Your
right.
mom.
Yeah, just like your mom. It's like, and so I put it like on my Adam's apple.
Oh,
There's embarrassing photos of me with a fake neck tattoo out there.
oh, that's great. That's so
If you,
great.
it might be on my Instagram on my personal Instagram if you scroll down far enough. Um,
Ah, I
I
probably
think I
will at
did.
this point. That's really funny.
If it's not there, it's on my Facebook account, which is a bit more private. But yeah, no, it was. I'm not even gonna say it was embarrassing because I enjoyed the heckin' out of that.
The heckin'.
Das heckin'. Yeah.
Das heckin'.
That was good, clean family fun.
Good. Yeah, nice. Your mom's family fun. Yeah. No, but I was actually
Okay.
really surprised when I was looking because there's some parts I still need to buy for this guitar. The control plate, namely. I have an extra vibrato system somewhere if I can ever find it, and a bridge. So I just was looking up and just kind of shocked at the vintage prices on like 1972 era Mustang and Bronco things. Like I think the least expensive Bronco tailpiece I saw was $120.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit.
I feel
A little
like
bit
with
crazy.
certain eras of guitars, I wonder if they're worth more when they're parted out, even if
They
it's
are.
still all in the original set. And I wonder if that's discouraging people from keeping a vintage, like all original pieces together.
I mean, I think so. I saw somebody on eBay who had 200 listings and he had like literally every single part for a Fender Bronco, but just separated.
Right. It would have cost an arm and a leg to buy it all together versus just buying someone else's Bronco listing.
Yeah, totally. So
See, what I find really interesting.
that's disheartening.
Well, it's disheartening is that personally it freaks me out a little bit because I know that when guitars get stolen, the easiest way to sell them after it gets reported to the police and it hits the databases is to part it out on eBay.
Oh, that's a good point.
So if you can like just drop the neck where the serial number is, but you can do the body, the pickups, the tailpiece, like the tuners, like everything can be parted out and get a lot more value for the money if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
totally. Not to give people ideas. Please don't do that. Don't steal.
Stealing is frowned upon in this establishment, and I do not condone it in any way, shape, or form.
And stealing from musicians, especially touring musicians, special spot in hell.
No. The touring musicians get enough money from tips; they can afford to replace it.
Oh yeah, they make so much money.
That's very rock and roll to be like, screw the man, I'm stealing your guitar.
Touring is so lucrative and so
Yeah,
easy on your body and mental health. So easy on your body and mental health. You don't miss your family the 2 months you're on tour. Nah, you're just having a
cracks
ball.
open fifth beer in 30 minutes.
You're absolutely seeing these wonderful cities. You're not just seeing the inside of a venue and maybe the inside of a hotel.
Maybe if you're lucky.
Your medical care is great. Yeah, don't steal from touring musicians. You're a bad person if you do that.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm not a huge fan of. It's always bummed me out.
Theft is
When
almost always bad. It's especially bad when you're stealing from people who can't replace what you're taking from them easily.
Well, right. Well, so it's really like I feel like I've got a strange personal connection with that because working at a guitar shop and seeing people come in from the local area saying, "Hey, someone stole our stuff, and we're going to every guitar shop in town," and like looking a musician in the eyes, they're like, "Yeah, like I've had this guitar since I was 14," like
Oh,
that kind of stuff, and like look at them like, "Yeah, like I'll take your number, I'll email it out to the people I'm allowed to in the company, and like." If I see that, like you're getting a phone call,
yeah.
but
But like
I mean,
my friend Kev was in a touring band and his like favorite guitar of all time, his PVT 60 was stolen along with all of their equipment. And he said one, it basically ended his career. And I remember talking to him and I said, "Well, have you ever thought about just buying another PVT 60?" He's like, "I don't want another one. I want mine." And I understood. Like I'm like, "I get it. I get it, man. If someone stole like my
yep,
Hummingbird or my Jazz Master, I could you know, the way people would understand it, I could replace it, but it'd be like if you got another cat right after your cat died. I don't want another
yeah,
cat, I want my princess.
I hear that.
Yeah.
And some people don't have that like relationship with their guitars, but if you do, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an odd and very depressing tangent on stolen equipment.
Yeah. And it just reminded me, I just want to send my heart and my love out to our friend Layla from Tuna Tone. If you remember listening to her on the podcast, her cat Tuna is the genesis of the name Tuna Tone. Unfortunately, Tuna died after a short illness this other week. So, like, again, just all of our love to Layla. Like, that's just so sad to us. We're really Debbie Downers this episode.
Yeah, it's really hard to talk about that, and I guess all there is to say is we're just so sorry, and we totally, uh, w- yeah. So I guess there's nothing else to say. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're here. We're here for you. So
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Do you have anything happy to end this episode
I'm
with?
not crying. You're crying.
I cried a little bit, man. Like it's the second time this year I've cried about a cat I didn't even meet ever in my life in person. I'm
Yep,
very
that sounds about
sensitive.
right.
Maybe we should look to see if we have any new podcast reviews. Maybe that'll make us happy.
Oh, and we also have to do dad jokes.
Oh, yeah. Go get that book. Do you have it handy?
I do. It's right in front of me.
All right. All right. All right. That might be a better way to end it.
All right. Let's see here. Where's the table of contents? We should pick a new topic this week. We have gone through. We not gone through, but we tried humor in the house and sports and leisure. And I'm intrigued by the last chapter. You can't make the stuff up. Subtitled Real Life Funnies.
Okay, let's that sounds good.
And also, if anyone's wondering if we've got like a super intense topic to talk about this week, this is kind of our topics. We're taking a little bit of a nice leisurely stroll this episode. It's a good time. Yeah. If John Oliver can take a break to talk about mascots in Japan, just to make everyone smile because some things are just very sad, I feel like we also have that right. So thank you,
Yeah.
John.
Yes.
So you can't make this stuff up. Real life funnies. And wow, it all says like from a real yada. So this says from a real court transcript. Question. Well, sir, judging from your answer on how you reacted to the emergency call, it sounds like you're a man of intelligence and good judgment. Answer. Thank you. And if I weren't under oath, I would return the compliment.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
burn.
That's a not a bad burn. But also that just is rude.
I mean, it's rude, but I feel like that's excellent. And I feel like there's whatever context that was in, I, I I really sincerely hope someone on the jury like snorted a snot rocket out. Like hanging, and like someone like smirks and then like they've got snot on their mustache. Like they snort just a little bit. You ever seen that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm married to a man with a mustache.
I'd like to imagine that's what happened, and then it just got that much more comical. Next up is a sign at a railroad station. Reads, "Beware, to touch these wires is instant death. Anyone found doing so will be prosecuted."
Yes. Oh, I get it. I get it. Oh, that
Yeah,
took me a minute. You'd already be dead.
he's only mostly dead.
Maybe they just mean
And some,
people crossing and not necessarily the people who touch the third rail.
see, the difference between someone who's all dead and someone who's mostly dead is that if they're mostly dead, there's only one thing left to do: go through their change and search, or go through their pockets and search for loose change.
Why can't you do that to someone who's all the way dead?
No, that man, I'm butchering a quote from Princess Bride. What is wrong with me?
Yeah, the funny thing is I knew that was the movie you were referencing, but at the same
Yeah,
time, and I knew that was something Billy Crystal was saying, and at the same time, I'm
yeah.
like, that doesn't sound right.
It was most of the way there. I think that's just a sign that I need to watch it sometime soon.
Mm.
It's been a couple months since I've watched it, and I've probably watched it 50 or 60 times.
Do you want to
Like I
borrow
don't.
that DVD as well as Empire Records?
Well, I have Princess Bride
You know, and Empire Records, once again, is on Netflix. I don't know why you haven't watched it yet.
because I don't sleep.
Well, normally people who don't sleep also watch movies.
I don't watch movies. I still haven't seen Endgame, which hopefully by the time this comes out I will have.
I thought you were going to see it after the Guitar Festival.
Didn't work out, unfortunately.
Mm.
So, why don't we go for one more joke
Yes, and call it a night.
yeah, one more joke and call it a night. We're gonna take it nice and easy.
We're going to make this a nice, sweet, short episode. Concise. Like these jokes.
Yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of quick fire jokes here. This is a personal favorite subject of mine, although I'm not sure. Glancing through this list, this makes the top list of church reader boards. But in general, church reader boards are a great source of humor for me.
That they are.
So, number one, do not criticize your wife's judgment. See who she married.
I mean.
Uh, there's no AC in hell either. Yay for fire and brimstone. Clinically proven to be the most effective form of apologetics.
What?
God, it's a long story.
Okie dokie.
God shows no favoritism, but our sign guy does. Go Cubs.
Abu.
Swallowing pride will never give you indigestion.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. I think the world needs less pride.
My take on that quote is usually, this is going to sound so pessimistic, but I've been known to say to people, you need to learn how to let things go so you can get what you want. So pessimistic.
Or you could swallow your pride. Aha! I have cornered you.
I mean, are those different?
Up next on the list, life stinks. We have a pew for you.
Oh, gosh.
If I ever work as a youth pastor at a church with a reader board, I guarantee you I'm upping that reader board's game like by at least 30 points.
Then I need to hear your original church reader board dad jokes.
Oh, let's see if I can come up with one on the fly. I make no guarantees, but you need to talk while I think of this because otherwise it's going to be awkward silence.
Oh, I gotta talk more? This is just so unfair. Thing is, I used to write a lot of social copy and ad copy and stuff, and yeah, didn't really like that part. I don't like I know that people always say, like, if no one's ever told you you're funny, then you shouldn't try to make jokes professionally. But people tell me I'm funny and I'm still bad at making jokes professionally. It's unfair. So unfair. Also, get offsetpodcast.com/shop. We have new hats. One says, what does it say? What's the one you...
For fuzz sake.
For fuzz sake. Those turned out really nicely. Andrew wore one all around the guitar show. I don't know if he got compliments.
I got stopped on 3 different occasions.
Nice.
One of them was in the bathroom while I was urinating. Wasn't optimal timing.
No, that is not appropriate.
At the same time, I appreciate the gesture. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awkward. Did you tell that person where he could buy for fuzz sake hat?
I did, and I think everyone else in the restroom heard it, so that was unintentionally a really great marketing opportunity.
Nice. Well, I wonder if he's the person who just bought one of those today.
It's possible. It is quite possible indeed.
Yes, thank you to everyone who's bought some of our merch. This past week we sold some mugs, some hats. We're working on some new shirt designs. It's gonna be fun stuff. I just got some new test merch in, so I've been putting our logo on things and buying them to decide if they're worthy of putting in the store, and if they're not, I figure I'll just give them away. But I got the Ohm floppy hat for Melissa today.
Yay!
Yeah, if you want to swing by sometime, I can hand that off to you, along with an Empire Records DVD.
You know what? I'm actually in that neck of the woods tomorrow.
Yeah. Dope. Yeah, I can make that happen.
Sweet.
Yes, it is. Have you thought about your reader board dad joke yet?
I'm still thinking about it, and I feel like
we'll save it for the visual thread.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But this is definitely the sort of topic that requires inspiration. And I feel like I'm lacking in inspiration at this current moment.
That's fine.
On the particular topic.
It's a little bit late. I would like to get to bed.
I probably should as well.
Yes.
Big day tomorrow.
Yeah. So everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for understanding. You've been listening to Get Offset.
Bye.
Bye-bye.